Back in April, all the cool kids were doing Roger Federer's volley challenge, and one of the best responses came from Bethanie Mattek-Sands. Not only are the volleys perfect, but the change in hats is brilliant. Also, incredible camera work. And we are excited to have Bethanie join us today here on Tennis Channel Live. Bethanie, I feel like even when you're playing, you're doing a million different things, from the broadcasting to the social media to the fashion line. So now that we've been off for 3 months, how has that quarantine been for you?
No, it's been pretty wild. Honestly, I've probably been busier now than I am when I'm on the road actually getting ready for matches. I feel like that's my time to myself and to get focused. But it's been a lot of fun. Look, there's a lot that we can't control right now, so I've just kind of taken it on myself, challenged myself to figure out what I can control, which is still training a little bit, still practicing a little bit, having some fun, adding some happy hours, hanging out with my dog, which I never get to do on the road. So it's been pretty wild. I've been doing Tennis United, been doing all over Instagram, doing Insta Lives for WTA. So I've been pretty social, at least online.
Oh, that's great. We've had so much fun following you. We saw that you did a fishing trip a couple days ago, had some nice outings. So when we talk about how have you been able to balance practicing, not knowing when you're coming back, to also having some fun during this quarantine?
You know what? I feel like I maybe have a little bit of an advantage, and it's kind of crazy to say this, but because I've been injured in the past and I've had to deal with weeks off, months off, and not knowing when I'm going to come back. And I think it's really about the daily process. For me, from the beginning of quarantine, I mean, I was in Indian Wells when everything got canceled. We drove home to Phoenix. And really from that day, I kept my daily routines. I mean, it was easy to say, I could practice anytime. I could wake up anytime. I could eat anytime. And I think it was really important that I stuck with some sort of structure and still having fun. Now, when I was on the tour, I actually had a really good balance of enjoying myself on the road as well. I think both are important. And that's where I feel like finding this balance has been really helpful in this time. And that's why I still enjoy going out on the weekends. We went fishing this weekend out in the middle of nowhere in Arizona. It was great. And then we're spending a lot of time at home. And, again, I'm still training, still practicing. For the most part, staying pretty strict with my diet so that when I do come back, I'm feeling pretty good. But I think it's, there's still room to enjoy yourself. So I feel like I have a really good balance.
Yeah, that's a fantastic way to look at it all. One of the best pieces of news we've had the last few weeks is this event coming up in Charleston in a couple weeks' time. We know that you're going to be there. This is one of the favorite stops for all the WTA players. And Bethanie, you are a team captain. Can you tell us about how your choice for your teammates, what's the thought process there?
Listen, first of all, I'm so excited that Charleston is having an event. I think that this is one of my favorite swings, going from Indian Wells to Miami and ending in Charleston. Like, I love that U.S. swing, and Charleston's seriously one of my favorite cities. Bob is amazing there. Eleanor, I mean, the whole crew that works at the tournament there. I think they did an amazing job to put together this team event, raising some funds for essential workers. I mean, they're big in helping the community, bringing Charleston together. It's such a massive tennis community. And if you've been there, you can really feel it, especially on site. So I'm really excited for this. And as far as picking teams, so it's Madison Keys is the other captain. So she's the only person I know that can't be on my team. But as far as actually picking, I don't know if we're doing it, if it's going to be a draft style. Like, I got to talk to Bob and Eleanor about this and figure out how we're going to do this. But we have some amazing players in North America that are all going to Charleston. And it's going to be a fun event. I think we're going to play around a little bit with the scoring system. We're going to make it really interactive. So I think it's going to be a blast.
A bunch of Grand Slam champions. It'll be interesting to see which way you go. I mean, you got Sloane, you got Bianca, you got Sophia, Vika. There's a lot of top-notch talent that's going to be
like
in
an all-sport team event here.
Of course, Bethanie, you've mentioned the Tennis United, the WTA, and the ATP have come together for this online social media content. Yourself, Vasek Pospisil, I've been following it. It's been so fun, so cool. I loved when you had all the Canadians on. Who's been your favorite guest so far, and why?
Oh, man, you're going to make me pick a favorite? Yeah. I feel like I've gotten to know all the players a little bit more in these conversations. I remember chatting with Karolina Pliskova, and when we got on the Zoom call, she was like, damn, this is the first time I've seen another tennis player in like months other than my sister. And everyone has been pretty chatty. I mean, we ended up having like an hour-long chat with Feliciano Lopez and Vika, and it was half that conversation didn't even make the video. I think everyone was just like we're all so used to seeing each other week to week. And it's funny because when we're at tournaments, it's kind of business and everyone's getting ready for matches. They have their team there. But now that we're kind of all relaxing and just at home, we actually all kind of miss each other. And I think we kind of realize it. So it's been a lot of fun. I mean, really, we've had a lot of interesting players. And I think the biggest part was that both tours could come together. It's bringing the tennis community together. It's giving fans an inside look at all my friends on tour and their personalities. I feel like tennis is one of those sports that sometimes you only see one side of everyone. And that's that like beast mode, savage competitor on the court. And you don't always see, what everyone's personality is. Like, what are they off the court? And so that's what Tennis United has been. I've gotten to know Vasek a lot better. Obviously, I knew him before, but co-hosting with him has been a blast. So I think it was really an amazing idea, and we've really gotten a good response. So I just finished recording actually next week's episode yesterday. So it will be a good one.
Oh, we can't wait to watch it. So Bethanie, 9 Grand Slam doubles titles, the most recent being with Jamie Murray. How much have you enjoyed that partnership playing with Jamie?
Jamie's such a gentleman. I kind of hashtag the team name, the gentleman and the bee, but seriously, he's such an awesome guy. He's super nice. I mean, his court awareness, his hands at the net are just really incredible. And I feel like we just have that chemistry on the court. And we made the finals earlier this year. Obviously, we lost in a breaker at Australian Open, but we really play well together. And for me, that's what doubles is. I mean, doubles can be super social. I love playing with my friends. It's actually kind of nice having a buddy out there to kind of chat with. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're out there to win and we're competitive and we're talking about strategy. But for the most part, we're kind of goofing around, just being relaxed and enjoying ourselves, because that's when we kind of bring the best tennis out of each other. And Jamie's been awesome. I miss Jamie.
We miss all of you. Two-time defending mixed doubles champs at the U.S. Open. Bethanie, there was a proposed WTA schedule that was put out online by a couple of WTA players yesterday. I'm sure you've seen it. What do you think about it, and when do you think we're going to get back to playing?
You know what? I still think there's just a lot of loose ends that need to be figured out. I think traveling is going to be the big one. I mean, look, tennis is so international. I think it's a matter of, can every player make it on site? What are we doing as far as, there's different laws on quarantine if they're going back home. It's, I think, unlike other sports where these team sports can kind of stay in the U.S., all travel together, all stay together. Tennis isn't really like that, and it's not really used to being like that. So I think it will take a little, as much as I'd love to get competitive tennis going again, as we all miss it and we all want to get back to our jobs. I think there's still a few details to be ironed out, but I'm really glad that the tours are all communicating and coming together. I think the WTA has done a great job chatting with players. Our player reps have done a really good job keeping information flowing. And, I think that right now it's just about working together to figure out what's the healthiest way to get the tour back up and running.
Well, Beth, it's always a pleasure having you here on Tennis Channel. Thanks so much for taking some time, and we look forward to seeing you in Charleston, June 23rd.